Here's a very simple rag carrot wreath. So I used the witch's hat form from the Dollar Tree, and I added zip ties to it so that I had something to tie the fabric to. So I added one at the bottom, and then two, and then three, and then four. These were 14-inch zip ties. And so I just added them so that I had something to tie the fabric to. Then I cut, it was actually 162 1-inch wide, 6-inch long pieces of its mini checkered fabric, and I tied them to the wreath form. So everywhere where there was wire, I tied a piece of fabric. You just fold it in half, put it under the wire, and then pull the tails through the loop. And then for the zip ties, I went in between the back and the front of the zip tie and tied them to that. I went all the way up the wreath form, tying those on. And I had bought, that was a 1 yard piece of mini checkered fabric I got off Amazon, and I had plenty left over. And then on the top, I did 51 8-inch strips, and I got 2 pieces of 18 by 29 light sage pieces of fabric from Amazon, and it was barely enough. So you might want to get a little bit more than that if you want it fuller. So I did 8-inch strips all along the bottom, and then on the curve, up to the curve. On the very top, I did 12-inch strips, and I think there were 43 of those. So I did 51 of the 8-inch and 43 of the 12-inch. So here I'm separating them. So you just kind of separate them, and it makes it fuller. You just kind of pull them and tie it and pull it tight, and then it kind of makes it fuller. And then I didn't like how it still looked like a hat. It just looked like a it looked like a hat. So I folded the top, the two ends of the brim of the hat together, and I zip tied them, and I think it worked out so much better. I think it's so much cuter. Looks like a carrot now. And then, of course, I had to make a tag for it. So I'm using the Carrot Farms and a paper bag. And so I waxed it because our transfers are sticky, and if it's very sticky, it'll pull the paper, tear the paper. So I waxed the paper, and then I'm using a few different colors. So I kind of do the paste and pull so that the paste doesn't dry in my transfer. And when I was done with this, I do change it a little bit. I wasn't real happy with it. So I used black and green, and then the orange peel, and I just got it on there. And then once that was dry, I rubbed it with my finger with some wax just to give it kind of an older look, like a worn look. So I cut it down. I kind of wanted it to look like a tag, so I kind of cut it down a little bit, and then I just rubbed some antique wax on it. And then I did hot glue a piece of twine to the back of it so I could tie it to the wreath. And I liked it, but I wasn't real happy with it. So we come back, and I made some paint using some water and the orange peel paste. And I paint and I color in the carrot. And then once that was dry, I did wax it, because if you're going to do a double layer, you definitely want to wax, because otherwise the transfer, being sticky, might pull up your first layer. So I put my transfer back on, and then I just outlined the carrots in the black, and I think it came out so much better. Just tied it to my wreath and put it on my front door. I think it's very cute, very springy. Let me know what you think. Hit that like button. Hit that share button for me. Make sure you're following me if you're not. And if you're interested in the transfer that I used, I did put a link to it in the description. Thank you.